So I'm really trying to not get my hopes up. But I really want to get my hopes up. So D23 is next week. I think it's next week from when this video is going to go up. I don't know. It's going to be these dates. This video is going to come out before D23 does. So D23 is coming. And that got me thinking about some things that I really want to see from this year's D23. Now, I'm not going to D23 this year, but I will be keeping up with all the news. Whereas I must say, I felt really disappointed by the last D23. I'm hoping this year's D23 can really turn things around, and I've got a lot of reasons to be hopeful. I'm really starting to see a lot of positive changes within Disney, even though I've been kind of annoyed with them the last 4 years. They really seem to be turning some stuff around, which I'm very happy to see. The movies are performing better. Inside Out 2 is now the highest grossing animated film ever, unless you include the 2019 Lion King, which apparently Disney does not. I don't know, take that as you will. And they started announcing stuff about some of their new cruise ships, which that does get me excited. Disney released some pretty big stuff at Comic-Con as well, and that was some pretty big news over there. If you haven't checked that out, you definitely should. And there's been some rumors floating around that have me intrigued. But we'll get all to that in a little bit. So I'm really hoping that this D23 is gonna start riding the ship, you know? From what we've been doing since the Chapek era and right before it and all that jazz. So I'm hoping things are going to get back on track, but you know, we'll see. But I want to make a video talking about some of the things that I personally really want to see, and maybe talking about some of the rumors that are floating around that I really hope are true. So let's get into it. I want to talk about the films first. I definitely want to see from Pixar more about Elio. Is it Elio or Elio? I don't know. That is their next movie coming up, and as I talked about in a video a couple weeks ago, I really think that the success of Inside Out 2 is really going to start pushing Pixar to kind of go in a really positive direction, I think, which is really trying to hone in on universal experiences, which is what they did primarily. But even Pete Docter, the head of Pixar, said it's been really difficult lately to find some of those because they kind of had some pretty great hits in the past, and it's pretty tough to continue to come up with new concepts after that. So I definitely get where he's coming from on that, but I hope that Elio can pinpoint one of those really good universal ideas that'll get everyone excited like Inside Out 2 did. This is gonna be the last original film from Pixar in a while, so let's relish it while we got it. Next up, speaking of which, I know we're going to just get a slew of sequel announcements. It's inevitable, especially with Inside Out 2 doing what it did. I just really hope that whatever sequel stuff gets announced, that the success of Inside Out 2 really shows the Disney executives, the people over at the heads of Pixar, really the best direction to go with future sequels, not just for Pixar, but for Disney as a whole, because Inside Out 2 did some great things to continue on an already fantastic story. So I really hope that that sends a message throughout the company. I also realize making movies is really stinking hard, and you can start out with the coolest idea for a movie ever and it just not execute the way you see it in your head. I totally get that. So here's hoping with Zootopia 2, and Moana 2, and Toy Story 5, and Frozen 3, and whatever other sequels that are going to get announced this D23, that they take more from Inside Out 2 and less from their direct-to-video sequel days. Just saying. Next up, speaking of sequels from Disney, I want to see more from Moana 2. I want to get an idea of what this story is gonna be. Obviously, I don't want them to spoil the whole movie, but right now we've just gotten scenes from the trailers about like, oh yeah, Maui's gonna be here, Moana's gonna sail again, stuff's gonna happen. Like, can we get an idea of what the story will be? Can we get a general thought process here? The movie comes out in like, what, 3 months? I'd like to at least know the basic premise. Is the island in danger again? Did we find new villages? Stuff? I mean, obviously we're going to get all this information eventually, but I hope they announce it here, and I hope we get like a really good new trailer for it that we can really dig into and sink our teeth into and get some good stuff from it. And also, I'm sure we're going to get more details on Frozen 3 and Zootopia 2. Ideally, I'm kind of hoping that there's at least one original idea that's going to be coming out during this time. If I'm making a list of everything that I personally want to see, I want to see at least one original film in there. Just one that can just be a nice little surprise. Like, hey, you know, we're doing all these sequels, but we've got this one new idea we want to put out. I'm really hoping for that, even though I don't think it's going to happen, but that would be really nice. And for the live-action movies, I just really hope we get something announced that's not a live-action remake. I know we're going to hear about the live-action remakes. We're going to hear about the Mufasa movie, which honestly, I'm really intrigued by, but I'm also insanely biased towards The Lion King, so, you know, take that with a grain of salt. I'm sure we're going to hear stuff from the Lilo and Stitch live-action remake. I'm sure we're going to hear stuff from the Moana remake. And I know at one point they were talking about doing Bambi. I don't know if they shelved that or the Hercules one. I'm sure we're going to hear about a bunch of this stuff. But I want at least just one movie that's not a live-action remake. It can be based on a theme park ride. It can be based on something that exists prior. I just don't want a live-action remake of an animated film. Just one that's not. Just one. It doesn't need to be anything huge. I just want one. Just one! But honestly, that's kind of feeling like that's never gonna happen, but who knows? Disney's been surprising me lately, and I like it when they surprise me, so let's do it. Park and experiences, I definitely want to hear more about these new cruise ships. Like, actually, as of today of recording this video, they just announced some stuff about the Disney Destiny, the new ship, that it's gonna have a Lion King themed restaurant. Yes! I'm here for it! I'm gonna be on the Destiny at some point, and I'm gonna go enjoy the wonders of the Lion King in food form. I went all Timon on it. That was totally, I didn't mean for that to happen. I totally just went right into Timon. Hey, I mean, it was fitting, right? But yeah, I'm excited to hear more about the cruise ships. I know they also talked about there's going to be a cruise coming out from Japan, I believe. Like in the next 4 years, I think they were talking about having a cruise ship that left out of Japan or went to Japan, or one of the two. And also, theme park-wise, I just really hope we get no blue sky concepts. From what I've heard, it really sounds like Disney's trying to stay away from the blue sky concepts, which if that's the case, thank you. I don't want Disney to announce anything unless they know it's gonna happen. And that brings me to my next point. I don't want them to overpromise and underdeliver like they've done for the last few D23s. Like at one D23 when they first announced Galaxy's Edge, they were talking about all the great stuff it was going to have. There'd be droids walking around, a story would follow you with you throughout the entire park, and none of that happened. It all went to Star Cruiser, but now that's gone too, and they still haven't implemented any of that in the parks. And also with Avengers Campus. It was supposed to open with an e-ticket attraction that we still don't have, and this land has been open for like 4 years. So if y'all are going to actually do some of the stuff y'all are talking about, there's a ton of rumors floating around about new expansions, new lands, even rumors about a 5th park that's opening up over in Florida. I really don't think that's going to happen, but it could, I guess, but I don't think that's going to happen. I just want whatever they announce to actually happen. I don't want you guys to overpromise and underdeliver. I don't know why you guys are doing that. One of the park mentalities, especially when it comes to like the wait times for a line, is you intentionally set it higher than what the wait time is, so that when people wait an hour and it only takes 45 minutes, they're happier. Why can't you do that with your park announcements? Next up, I would really love for them to totally get rid of the reservation system at Disneyland. Please get rid of that. And also make it a little more accessible to, like, you know, go to restaurants and stuff while we're at Disneyland without having to either make a reservation or ordering everything online. We can just kind of walk up and grab food. Because, you know, I want to come to Disneyland and enjoy Disneyland. I don't want to stare at my phone the entire time. Of course, I think those probably won't go away anytime soon. Maybe the reservations will, but probably not the food thing. I think that's just me being a crotchety old man. Hey, I just want to enjoy things without my phone. Is that so bad? Next up, I want to hear some more from Disneyland Forward. That got approved and everything, and I'm curious to see what you guys have planned for Disneyland Forward. You guys have already announced there's an Avatar attraction that's coming to Disneyland or California Adventure. Where is it gonna be? Can you talk about one of the rides? And are we gonna get more lands and stuff coming to Disneyland? That would be fantastic. I'd love to know. So yeah, this last one might be a bit of a stretch, but I'm seeing things that make me more hopeful than ever before, so I'm gonna roll with it, and it's probably not gonna happen, but I want it to happen. Please happen! I want to see a lot of Lion King this year. Now hear me out. This is the Lion King's 30th anniversary this year is, and Disney has been doing way more than they normally would for a movie's anniversary. Like, they had this giant show for The Lion King at the Hollywood Bowl. They released Lion King back into theaters. We're starting to see more Lion King pop up. The cruise ship I just talked about, they're getting an entire Lion King restaurant. Because I feel like there is a surgence of Lion King love right now. And I'm here for this, and I hope Disney is riding on this, because I'm I'm totally here for it. Like, there are rumors floating around. I don't know how true they are. I don't want to put too much stock into it, but I kind of am, because I'm kind of excited that they are contemplating putting a Lion King ride, or at least attraction of some kind, in Animal Kingdom in Africa, which, I want really badly. Please do it. And there's even rumors about, like, Disneyland Paris may be getting an entire Lion King themed land. Excuse me? Which makes sense. When I went to Disneyland Paris, there was an insane amount of love for the animal movies up there. I don't know what it was, but it was beautiful, and I wish America did it. Like, America seems to focus on, like, the princess movies, which they're great. I don't want to knock them. When I went to Disneyland Paris, they had a restaurant themed around Colonel Hathie from the Jungle Book. They had a Lion King themed restaurant. They had a whole parade based around the Lion King, Jungle Book, and Tarzan. I'm like, they are speaking my language. These are my movies. Yes! And now they're talking about getting a whole Lion King park. I don't know how true those rumors are, but I've heard them floating around. And if they are true, please let them be true. But it's rumors. I'm not putting too much stock into it. I don't know where people are getting this information. I don't want to know. All I know is I happen to stumble across this information. And if it is true, I'm hyped. If it's not, I get it. These are big wishes, and I know they are. Yeah, just in general, I'm just really looking for a bunch of stuff that's going to get me hyped towards the future of Disney. I'm starting to see inklings of it, and I'm getting really excited between what they announced at Comic-Con, the success of Inside Out 2, and other things like that. I'm starting to get excited again, and I really hope to keep that, because I love these IPs, and I love these things, and I want to be excited again. And I guess that's all I have to say. I really hope D23 is going to be awesome this year, and I will, when all the news is announced, we'll make a big video and talk about everything, and it'll be awesome. Alright, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!